Today we are going to discuss the Swiss family Robinson. A synopsis. The Swiss family Robinson. Synopsis means a brief summary. So the principal characters of this story are first William, the patriarch of Robinson family. He is the narrator of the story and leads the family. He knows an enormous amount of information on almost everything the family comes across, demonstrating bravery and self reliance. Next character Elizabeth, the loving mother of the Robinson family. She is an intelligent and resourceful, arming herself even before leaving the ship with a magic bag filled with supplies, including saving materials and seeds for food crops. Next character Frizz, the oldest of the four boys. He is 15. Frizz is and intelligent but imperious. He is the strongest and accompanies his father on many quests. Next, Ernest. He is 13 and he is the most intelligent but a less physical active boy, often described by his father as indolent. Next character, Jack, who is 11 years. He is thoughtless, bold, vivacious, and the quickest of the group. Next, Franz. He is the youngest of the boys and he usually stays home with his mother. Now, here in the story, two dogs, Turk and Juno. And the next character, Jenny Montrose. She is an English girl found on the Smoking Rock. Now, we start this story, the Swiss family Robinson. The summary of Swiss family Robinson. So, the Swiss family Robinson is a well known adventure novel that people of many countries have enjoyed for more than 200 years. And this novel, written by Swiss clergyman John David Weiss, is not just an adventure, but it aims at teaching young people values like self reliance, determinations, love for your family, cooperations, and prudent use of resource. Prudent use of resource means maximum use of resource. It also has good lessons relevant in natural sciences, good husbandry, and even mathematics. It is a work of fiction, not a fact file. Now, the Swiss family Robinson. William and Elizabeth and their children had been traveling in a ship when the ship was caught in a great storm. The other passengers evacuated without them. William and his family, including the young children, Fritz, Ernest, Jack, and Franz, were left to survive alone. So, in the next morning, what they found? In the next morning, their first concern is to get to the island they can see beyond the reef. With much effort, they construct a vessel out of the tubs. After they fill the tubs with food, ammunitions, and all other articles of value they can safely carry, they row toward the island. Two dogs from the ship swim beside them, and the boys are glad that they will have pets when they reach their new home. The first task on reaching the island is to erect a tent of sailcloth they brought from the ship. They gather moss and try it so that they will have some protection from the ground when they sleep. They are able to find fresh food to their supplies. Since they have no utensils for eating, they use shells for spoons, all dipping out of the iron kettle that they brought from the ship. The father knows that they must prepare for a long time on the island, and his thoughts are as much on provisions for the future as for their immediate wants. The father and Fritz the oldest son, spend the next day exploring the island. They find gouts from which they can make dishes and spoons and many edible fruits and roots. Coconuts growing in abundance provide a treat for the mother and the younger boys. Fridge captures a small monkey, which he takes back for a pet. The younger boys are enchanted with the mischievous little animal. The Robinson family spend the next few days securing themselves against hunger and danger from wild animals. The father and Fridge make several trips to the ship in their efforts to bring ashore everything that they can possibly use. The domesticated animals on the ship are towed back to the island. There is also a great store of firearms and ammunition, hammocks for sleeping, carpenter's tools, lumber, cooking utensils, silverware, and dishes. While the father and Fridge are salvaging their supplies, the mother and younger boys are walking on the shore, sowing seeds, examining the contents of the kegs that floated to shore, and in every way possible making the tent a more livable home. The mother and boys also explore the island to find a spot for a more permanent home. When the father and Fridge can join them, the whole family helps to construct a tree house that will give them protection from wild animals that they fear might dwell on the island. Many times, the family members find their liver destroyed by uncontrollable forces. Goats eat their bark off young fruit trees they planted. Monkeys rob their food stores frequently, and jackals and serpents kill some of their pets. So, throughout the years, they learn how to make the most of what they had and came up with new ideas to make their life better. So, in this way, 10 years passed, and the young boys were now young men, and the parents were very proud. They called this new island as a New Switzerland. Many adventures occurs, occurred over the years, and later the eldest son Fritz explored to the other side of the island on a canoe. During this exploration, he finds a girl called Jenny Montrose and brought her back to his family. Jenny Montrose was a young English woman who was shipwrecked 3 years ago and ended up on another part of the island near a volcano. She sent a note asking for help by attaching it to the leg of an albatross. Fritz finds the note and rescues her. They fall in love and eventually got married in England. Now we'll discuss the theme of the story. So, first, teamwork. The Robinsons worked together to build themselves a new home and a new life after landing on the island. Their teamwork led to a good life and they managed to fulfill their needs. Now, second, being thankful. They were very thankful to the God for what they had. Mr. Robinson always thanked God for the good things they had and taught these children to do so. The most important, family support and love. And this was demonstrated repeatedly throughout the story. They worked and lived as a united and happy family. They had a good relationship and loved each other very much. So Mr. and Mrs. Robinson kept saying how blessed they were to have such helpful and caring sons. Next one is perseverance. So the Robinson worked hard to build themselves a new home, especially when building a falcon nest. The house in the tree protected them during the rainy season and when they were chased by the Cape buffaloes. They also worked hard to tend to their livestock and garden, which provided them with food throughout the years on the island. I hope now you will have a good idea about the chapter, the story, Swiss Family Robinson. Thank you so much.